panorama of Melbourne from the Eastern Hill Fire Station, with the back of Parliament House and the Windsor Hotel in the middle distance. Scott's Church further back in Collins Street, just coming into view. And the Princess Theatre, where the Melbourne Cup film first screened in 1896. A jump cut takes us further north to the exhibition buildings, the southern part of Fitzroy and St Vincent's Hospital. We're looking east across Richmond Station with the tower of Dimmy's department store on the extreme top right. Ernest Higgins edited the film so that it began with these long establishing shots, and as you'll see, the pace quickens as we deal with specific buildings and events. The camera has become a storytelling instrument. The shots vary in length and the point of view is varied. There are high-angle shots, low shots and a variation of wide and medium views as the film progresses. Starting from the present art gallery site, we're moving north aboard a cable tram towards Prince's Bridge and Flinders Street. You can see the slot between the tracks in front of us, where the grip went through to hold the moving underground cable. Flinders Street Station's dome is just coming up on the left, and now we're crossing Prince's Bridge, with Young and Jackson's just coming into view. The Flinders Street intersection. St Paul's is on your extreme right with the Melbourne Town Hall porch, a Grecian porch further along. Here's the intersection of Collins and Swanston Street coming up. This hasn't changed very much except for the surrounding skyscrapers. A shot taken from the Flinders Street Station steps, a familiar view, but taken 20 years before the present spires were added to St Paul's. Beginning at the William Street intersection and moving east, first we pass Queen Street. And now Elizabeth Street, where Allen's is now. A few automobiles were on the road by 1910, but they were only for the wealthy until Henry Ford introduced mass production. The buildings on the right beyond Swanston Street have been demolished to make way for the city square. Up at the eastern end of town in Spring Street. Kids were a cameraman's curse right from the start. Those telegraph poles festooned with hundreds of wires were superseded when automatic telephone exchanges came into operation, Eventually, the telephone cables were put underground. This is the site of the Burke Street Mall from Elizabeth Street, looking east, with Parliament House on the hill in the distance. From 1901 to 1926, Melbourne was Australia's federal capital. Parliament House from the Windsor Hotel's entrance. Looking across Elizabeth Street in 1910. A view to the north from the recently built Flinders Street Station. Some of Australia's tallest buildings fronted Elizabeth Street in those Edwardian times. Here's the site of the first opening of Federal Parliament in 1901. William Street's courts are now almost totally obscured by high-rise buildings surrounding them. After 1927, this became State Government House. And in just a moment, you'll see the Governor's luxury car coming into view. Chauffeur was obligatory. This monument's also near Government House, in the Queen Victoria Gardens just south of Prince's Bridge, now surrounded by trees. This iron fence was taken in a scrap drive during World War II. The interiors you're about to see were reshot from still photos taken by time exposure. Movie cameras couldn't work in low indoor light levels in 1910. By today's standards, the display techniques employed in McCoy Hall and the Old Art Gallery were cluttered and hideous. The jigsaw puzzle display method. Much more than just a rowing competition, the Henley Festival in October 1910 was a sort of floating Moomba, with various private firms producing decorated boats in competition with each other. In the first third of this century, no Melbourne event was quite so popular as Henley, except perhaps the Royal Agricultural Show at Flemington Showgrounds, seen here in September 1910. Victoria's population was still predominantly rural, so that these displays of farm machinery and bloodstock were of far greater importance than the present chaos of sideshows and sample bags.
You've enjoyed the television programme, now read the magazine, Mansfields Melbourne magazine. The May issue is 112 pages packed with articles from Channel 31 viewers. Win a trip to London, win a defensive driving course, win great prizes. Mansfields Melbourne magazine, 4 magazines for the price of 1. The latest in show business news in TV Radio Confidential, a 20-page Nightlines feature, and a special lift-out on the history of Melbourne radio. Mansfields Melbourne magazine, just $2 at your local newsagent, out now. Saba Furniture, where there's hundreds of lounge suites in stock. You'll save hundreds of dollars on recliner suites, leather suites and occasional furniture. You'll save 30% on sofas and sofa beds. And there's free delivery too. Call and say hello to Joe and Maureen at Saba. See Saba Furniture's Superstore at 802 Burwood Highway, Ferntree Gully. They're open 7 days a week and no reasonable offer will be refused. There's easy parking too at Saba Furniture, Ferntree Gully. You can call 9758 8200, 9758 8200 at Saba, 802 Burwood Highway, Ferntree Gully. And remember, no reasonable offer will be refused. Hello Melbourne and welcome back to the second half of Mansfields Melbourne for tonight. We do thank the National Film and Sound Archives for providing the first half of our show tonight. Great memories of Melbourne, aren't they? Good evening from me and Bob Loxton. Whether you're in Clifton Springs or Clifton Hill, Port Ormond or Port Melbourne, welcome to this Monday night edition of Mansfields Melbourne, June the 22nd, episode number 353, a half-hour look at what's doing in Melbourne. A big week here on Channel 31 with the Diamond Valley Football League starting its weekly shows yesterday. In fact, they debuted, and every week the DVFL has its own Sunday show at 10:30 in the morning before the races. Congratulations to Peter Floyd and all the boys up at Diamond Valley for putting forward a terrific footy show. A big week for Mansfield's Melbourne too. Another of our popular Queensland escapades will be on Saturday. We'll give you a sneak preview on Wednesday night of Far North Queensland. And on Friday, we're off to Canberra to film a few special episodes in the nation's capital. I'm really looking forward to that. We'll be showing those later this month. But for tonight, we have a very big show and a What's On segment of what's doing in Melbourne, the best of everything. But firstly, the news, and Moreland Council is planning to spend $43,000, a bill to Optus for the overhead cables in its area, with Telstra receiving an invoice of $34,000. The council has authorised its CEO, Peter Johnston, to take whatever action necessary to legally defend the valuation return to bill the telecommunication companies. Video surveillance cameras are likely to be installed in Frankston's main shopping district as part of a program to boost safety in the area. The state government has awarded $100,000 to Frankston as part of the Vic Safe Cities program. The Olympic torch looks set to pass through West Heidelberg's Olympic Village on its way to the 2000 Olympics. Olympic Village was the centre of athlete accommodation for the Melbourne 1956 Games, and organisers are hopeful that the torch will pass through the area. And at Darabin in Melbourne's north, Preston is set to become home to Melbourne's second youth theatre company. The Northcote and Preston areas have a big non-professional theatre community, is likely to be based at the Arts and Entertainment Centre in Bell Street. That's the news to this moment. We'll continue now with What's On and some pretty special people we say hello to tonight. Welcome to What's On, this segment on Monday night. First to Eltham and news from Danielle at Nibble and Bake. where you can enjoy the best in bread making at home. A lot of people prefer to do that these days. Traditional or bread machine, Nibble and Bake are the people to see. You can sample their huge range of different varieties and breads and quality bread mixes. And in June, just 7 days left, you can purchase 2 kilogram bread mixes, country grain or wholemeal for only $3.20. Good value, isn't it? At Nibble and Bake. There are 10 commercial places in Eltham at the rear of Norm Thompson's Pharmacy. And I think all of you Eltham people would know where that is. That's Nibble and Bake. Their phone number is on the screen, 9431 0037. And think about baking your bread. Across to Coburg now, North Coburg in fact, and to Premier Tint. Now this is where car window tints are available from just $100. I think that's about the cheapest in town. Tissa at Premier Tint also offers a 10% discount on car alarms and boot spoilers. All you do is mention Mansfields Melbourne and that discount is yours. Premier Tints will make your car look better, feel better, and you'll see better too, from just $100 for car window tints. Great value at Premier Tint, 850 Sydney Road, North Coburg. You can give them a call. The number's on the screen, 9354 677. And still up that way, here's a message for all you girls. And girls, if you're aged between 7 and 16, you'll love the excitement, the music and the colour of the Australian drill team at Frankston. Now, you've heard of marching. Well, this is even better. This is called drill, and this is where you get to compete with a team that has decades of success. Hello to Mrs. Smith, one of the leaders down there. I know, Mrs. Smith, you listen to Nightline every night, and a very special good evening from the television program. The Australian drill team is down at Frankston, has a very proud reputation. Girls, you can be part of this success story too. There's no joining fee, there are weekly subs, and you're part of the accredited coaching centre of Frankston. Mrs. Smith is waiting for your call if you'd like to become part of the drill team, 9787 2159. And have a listen to Nightline tonight, Mrs. Smith. Do you run your own business? Would you like to develop your business without putting on staff? It's a great idea, this. Ace Answering Service have the answer. This is where your business can have its own receptionist 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Yes, your own receptionist. You can take more calls, you'll answer more inquiries, make more appointments, write more sales, and do it with a smile, because you're not doing the work. Ace Answering Service are working for you. They're the people to help your business along. Give them a call. The number's there now, 9589 5611, and I bet you get an answer there at Ace Answering Service. We're going down to Geelong now. I know a lot of viewers down in Geelong watch 31 each night, and good evening to you. A great service in Geelong is the RIVENDELL COTTAGE. Now this is a stamp shop with the lot. They'll provide all your rubber stamp requirements. I love rubber stamps, and RIVENDELL COTTAGE have the lot. And good news is you don't have to be in Geelong to take advantage. They have a terrific mail order service. Rubber stamps down there in stock include PSX, Penny Blacks, Stamps Happen, Stamp It, Stampscapes, Hero and Annalee Crafts. Also in stock are Rubber Stampede, My Stamps, Stamp World, Magenta Thinking Stamps, Wanda, RT Stamps, limited editions and many, many more. So if you're into stamps, it's RIVENDELL COTTAGE in Geelong. Contact Bev, good evening Bev, at RIVENDELL COTTAGE, 109 RYRIE Street in Geelong. Their phone fax is the same number, and here it is. 5224 1911. On Mansfields Melbourne now, we're out to Werribee, and CACKLEBERRY Cottage want to say a very big thank you. And why a very big thank you for you tonight is for letting them to be a finalist in the Wyndham Business Awards. Congratulations to everyone involved at CACKLEBERRY Cottage, and congratulations on your award. CACKLEBERRY Cottage is so delighted with this honour, they're having a thank you sale with 15% off all stock. Furniture is reduced too. It's thanks to the valued customers at CACKLEBERRY Cottage, with the thank you sale running for 2 weeks, starting today until July the 4th. The specials are so good. There's no lay-by, by the way, but these prices are available for cash, credit and EFTPOS. See Kerry, good evening Kerry, at CACKLEBERRY Cottage, 43 Watton Street, Werribee. Kerry is on the phone, the number on the screen, 9731 1533. The winner of the Wyndham Business Awards, CACKLEBERRY Cottage. Now from Werribee to the west to Druin, past Dandenong, out there in the southeast of Melbourne. And a place that I'd like to recommend on this What's On segment is the Crowded House Cafe at 28 Princes Highway in Druin. Now, if you never go to Druin, you must discover the Crowded House Cafe. It's a slice of Melbourne that's in the heart of the country. I hear so much about this. You'll be pleasantly surprised at the menu of homemade winter dishes, their continental cakes and their freshly ground coffee. For a trip in the country, don't go past Druin and Crowded House. Monday to Thursday, they're open 10 in the morning till 5 at night. Fridays, 10 in the morning till 8:30 at night. And Saturdays, 10 in the morning till 2. They're open for group bookings only on a Sunday, open public holidays, most public holidays. Go and see what all the fuss is about, what everyone's talking about. The Crowded House Cafe, 28 Princess Highway in Druin. You can see their number now, 5625 4810. Mention this program for a 10% discount. It's Crowded House Cafe, 28 Princess Highway in Druin. Still out in the southeast, and news from RYRIE at the Pakenham Hills Primary School. Pakenham Hills Primary School, tomorrow Tuesday, sees a 1999 prep information night starting at 7 o'clock tomorrow night in the library. Now, this is for parents of prep starting next year. Good idea to perhaps go along and have a chat to them if you're listening, if you're watching in Pakenham. Pakenham Hills Primary School has also open mornings and tours tomorrow and Wednesday from 9:30 in the morning. Now that lasts an hour. You can see everything there at Pakenham Hills Primary School. Enrolment week is coming up too. That's between July 20 and 24, 9 a.m. till 12 noon every day during enrolment week. Pakenham Hills Primary School, that's in Kennedy Road, Pakenham. You can call the number on the screen, 5941 4436. And finally, on this What's On segment for this Monday, news of stock take reductions of up to 50%. 50% at Flattery Nook. This is at 138 Main Street in Pakenham. Hello to Faye and all the girls and fellas at Flattery Nook. Yeah, they must have gone mad out there because items are at half price. Truly, on selected suits, frocks, shirts, skirts, knitwear and blouses. Up to 50% off large and extra large leisure suits. Large and extra large tailored slacks and oddment bras including maternity. Sorry, there's no lay-by on sale items. But Visa, bank card and MasterCard are welcome as you save, and you really will, at Flattery Nook. They're at 138 Main Street in Pakenham, but call Faye please and just see if she's got what you have in stock. The number is 5941 1630. 5941 1630. That's Flattery Nook. Well, that's it for another night in our city. Gone all so quickly. Again, thanks to the National Film and Sound Archives for those wonderful memories of Melbourne. We get a lot of calls at the Mansfields Melbourne office for videotapes where you can buy them. Look under National Sound and Film Archives. They're in South Melbourne, and you can procure those videotapes very reasonably priced. And you can't replace that sort of film. Just a reminder, we're going up to Canberra in a couple of days' time for Mansfields Melbourne. We hope to have about 2 or 3 shows come out of that. And that's it for another night in our city. Monday, June the 22nd. This is the day when Essendon footballer Albert Thorogood kicked a place kick 98 metres in training. The year was 1899. It's the day that the donut was invented. And it's the day when The Goon Show first went to air on the BBC in 1952. The first name of the show was The Crazy People. And we in Melbourne hadn't heard anything quite like it. Do you remember The Goon Show? Stay tuned for another night of great Melbourne television here on Channel 31, and join Pete Smith and me for Nightline on 3AW tonight from 8 o'clock. Another big week here on Mansfields Melbourne coming up. We're back here with more surprises tomorrow night at 5:30. Until then, until tomorrow at 5:30, it's good night from me, good night from Ron Rogers and Paul Dowsley.
let's go.